All right, obviously you can hear me. So I wanted to follow Tamika for a reason. All of this kind of goes together. Um, so, first slide, I'm Rena Smith. Um, like Tamika, I have a young son that has autism. He's 10. And then I have a almost 14-year-old also. But in doing this and with what my husband does, I think I've told a lot of you he's in law enforcement, it makes you realize the stuff that's out there and the possibilities if something goes wrong. You don't want to think about that stuff, but it's going to happen. Hopefully not to the, main extent of what it could, but we want to be prepared for that. And it's not just kids. There's plenty of people that need this with disabilities that could benefit. So, what I plan on doing is establishing a voluntary program that allows first responders to best serve and protect our special needs community. It allows anyone with disabilities to bring awareness to our community, and it allows first responders to give them the best response and situation possible that we can with what we have. And it allows police, fire, EMS, and others to have knowledge of an individual with specific needs while also allowing them the opportunity to respond in the fastest and most effective way possible. So, the whole why, not only does it help these people, but it brings awareness. When we're talking about what's going on, if we do some kind of event where we register people, the community hears about it. Whether they're part of it or not, we're talking about it. It helps with preparedness and best assistance, knowledge of specific needs, saving time, which equals better outcomes. And I have all these great statistics that I didn't want to bore you all with, but about the difference it makes in a split decision to have just a few extra minutes and the difference it makes. It's huge. And again, with who? Children and adults, physical, mental, developmental, cognitive disabilities, medical conditions that require extra assistance or equipment. Think about it. You've got someone going into a call, house fire. You have 2 or 3 people in wheelchairs. Do you think it's going to take the same number of people, the same assistance, to deal with that situation that it would if you're just running in there, grabbing a few people, trying to get out? It's not. And then anybody with service animals, too. That brings up a whole nother thing. Having them, how they're going to respond to you coming at their owner, that type of thing. It could save a lot of things. How it works. And this is not something new. I didn't do this. This has been going on in other places for a little while now. Opelika has one, like Tamika was talking about. I'm pretty sure Pelham has one. And then other states are doing this too. My goal in all of this would be to get this universal, so you could go to another state, wherever, and you'd still be able to access this. That's a long-term goal, but if everybody started doing this and you could get it in a lot of different communities, again, the awareness, and then when everybody's doing it, it's just the normal thing to do. But once enrolled, an emergency personnel will upload your information given into their computer system. When a situation comes, first responders, that specific information will be automatically retrieved. So you don't have to waste time saying what or, hey, I'm here and now there's this situation, I need backup. And they'll be alerted immediately with all other typical information that they receive. And like I said, this isn't the first time to do this. There's a lot of different ways to do it. In hopes, it would be you could do it, you could go to your local police and fire department. So if you're in a situation where you have a hard time getting online or going somewhere to a certain event, that maybe you could just go to that department and get them to register you there. Hopefully, an online application would be available to where you could just do it online. Or it would be great to see it at events like Miss Melissa's or something like that, to where we could set up and help register those people then. who's to say you just weren't there for that? And then you see this and you're like, hey, I could do that, you know? And a big thing about this, we live in a day and age where security, all that stuff is super important. So all this information would be kept in confidential systems. Only accessed approved personnel would be able to get to it. And these people that work in these situations are already trained to work with classified information. They have to have security clearances, so it's safe. And then we would have to train these people to update individuals, hopefully yearly. Get in contact with them and say, hey, has anything changed? Can we help you update anything? Because we all know a lot can happen in a year. And like I said, short term, I would love to have a functional, maybe pen and paper part of this, at least going in my community in the next 6 months. And then having a complete version of that in our county. Long term, again, having all those options available that we talked about. It's going to take a little while to get an online system going, I'm sure. And then having that running in several surrounding counties. And huge goal, I would love to make this, like I said, universal. I would love for you to be able to travel anywhere, and just like they would pull up your driver's license in the system, that it automatically comes up, and that everybody just knows that's what we do. Lots of work still to do. I would love to go to local departments and do surveys and ask them, hey, this is what I think. What do you guys think? How does this help? How does it not help? What do you need from us that best helps you? Develop an accurate budget to make this work. Presenting all the information to the local departments and, of course, city council. Getting the communities involved, making sure that they understand that this is out there. It's important. This is how it helps you. Implementing it, of course, making any revisions. Once we get it going, you're always going to have to go back to the drawing board and say, hey, this works, this doesn't. And then design the online part of it to add to the local police department's page. And like I said, lessons learned, it just blows me away the difference it makes. Like I said, when I started looking at statistics, and I wish I could remember them off the top of my head because I really thought I was going to. That's what I get for thinking. But the few minutes it takes to make a huge difference. Like Tamika said, you come up on a wreck and you've got a kid that's nonverbal, like mine, that's a flight risk. That sounds fancy. But Bryce is going to go in a heartbeat. You call his name, he's not coming. He doesn't know you. He's going to probably be combative. And like I said, the kiddo's fast. So if he gets a little bit of a lead, you need to know, like, we need to be looking now, like, or he's going to be gone. So it's little things like that. It makes a big deal. Questions, comments, concerns?
Question is, what about natural disasters such as tornadoes and so forth? I have a friend who works with, or volunteer works with EMA up in Huntsville, and I'd love to, they have a registry, but it's not well advertised. How are you planning to advertise this to get the word out?
And that's a big part of it. We got to go in lots of different routes, lots of different avenues on that, because let's face it, all kinds of generations, we all get our information different ways. My father-in-law still wants a newspaper like every day. I can't remember the last time I used a newspaper unless it was for my little baby chicks in the garage. Like, you know, some people do online. A lot of people don't even want to look at any news or something these days. Really having us out in the community saying, hey, you know me, you know my situation. This is what I think could help. How can I help you? It's probably going to be the biggest, but we do need to get it everywhere. If I can get it on the radio, if I can get it, I'll take anything I can get. Any way we can get it out there. But we have to do multiple. That's the only way it'll work. Thinking one way is the best isn't going to work. And they have tons of stuff for registries for those situations, especially after COVID stuff. They've tons of CDC guidelines for how they want to do it for national kind of situations.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. And I'm excited that Jenny's coming behind me because hers kind of ties into all this too. So we might make a power team, all three of us. We're going to see.